Welcome to LatiNation, celebrating your generation from coast to coast. I'm your host, Humberto Guida, and I love it when Latinos take something over, but in an organic, natural way, without any extra help. Kind of like MMA. From Cain Velazquez to Anthony Pettis to Ronda Rousey, many of the biggest stars in MMA are at least part Latino, and it's about time we have a league that emphasizes finding those Latino MMA stars of tomorrow. Now, when Campbell McLaren helped launch the UFC, no one would have imagined that it would become the premier $4 billion sports organization it is today. And decades later, Campbell is now embarking on a new goal, making Combate Americas the new hub for up-and-coming Latino fighters. And we get to jump in the cage to find out what all the hype is about right here on LatiNation. En Acción, brought to you by the U.S. Army. Find out more at GoArmy.com.
Campbell!
Hi, I'm Campbell McLaren. I'm the CEO of Combate Americas, also known as the creator of the UFC. I created the UFC more than 20 years ago. And it was amazing because we started with the Gracie family and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But flash forward 20 years, and I wanted to do something different. And I've now created a form of MMA that's really built on boxing. So Hispanic fight fans that may not know MMA are gonna love this because our guys are boxers that have now learned Jiu-Jitsu. So you're gonna see much more action now in Combate Americas. And it's just a ton of fun to watch.
Derecha buscando el rojo. Terminando el primer asalto, señores.
This is a place where Mexicans, Latins can showcase their talent and show the world what they're capable of and what they can do when it comes to MMA. We want to be the #1 company when it comes to MMA in Latin America. And as you can see, the main ingredient of Combate Americas is Latino. Everybody can watch Combate Americas. We want everybody to enjoy the Latin style of fighting.
Well, when it comes to Latin Americans and just Latinos in general, obviously our community and our heritage loves combat sports. You know, we absolutely dominate the boxing world, and obviously that's a big part of MMA as well, you know, the striking aspect of it. I think it's very cool to be able to kind of be a part of this group, you know.
A lo largo de la carrera hacia el campeonato de Combate 9, una intensa rivalidad se ha desarrollado entre los dos guerreros de élite.
The thing that makes Combate very different is when you watch Combate Americas, you can tell it's a Hispanic fight organization because people come out and they fight with heart all the time. They don't wait for the last rounds. They come out fighting right away. And I think that's what really differentiates our guys. And we're bringing that same fighting spirit to Combate. They don't want to win on points. They don't want to run the clock. They don't want to stall. They bring it. And that's what makes the fight so much fun for the fans.
Combate Americas makes history when it brings MMA back to New York for the first time in 2 decades, with a main event to determine the first ever Combate Americas World Bantamweight Champion.
Combate Americas beating the UFC back to New York. Now, I did the first UFC here. I did UFC 7, right? And I thought, you know what, let me just slide in, let Combate come in first. So thrilled to be here in New York. It's been too long. They sort of threw me out about 20 years ago. But I'm back. Combate Americas, the most exciting franchise in the country, is the first professional MMA event back into New York.
A los Nick Díaz ahí. Se estaba haciendo una bicicleta en la cara de Sexy Nexy.
Combate is more of a family. They're a Latino-based company, and they kind of took that in consideration in how they treated the fighters. They treat them like family. You don't have to worry about the little things because they take care of that, and they want you to be very successful with everything, so they give you all the tools you need to be successful. Some companies don't do that. They just like, hey, kind of contract, show up this date, weigh in, fight, and thank you for your work. You don't get that family bond that Combate does, and we're blessed to be in this company.